Welcome to Optimal Living Starts Here, where veterans and their families are empowered to live healthy, happy lives. I am Versandra Kennebrew, your host, and I would like to introduce to you my special guest for this episode. Our special guest is Chef Amira Watson, and she has been in the culinary industry since 2003. She has a culinary degree from Le Cordon Bleu and has worked in fine dining establishments like Ritz-Carlton, Cherokee Country Club, and more. She's appeared on two Food Network shows and was the culinary director for Master Chef Junior. Chef Watson became a certified naturopathic doctor studying under Dr. Laila Africa, and she now uses food to heal emotions and work with children as a culinary arts teacher, and is the founder of Cooking with STEM. Allow me to introduce and bring to you our special guest, Chef Amira Watson. Yay!
Thank you so much for having me on. It is such a pleasure. And I have to tell you that this topic is something that is dear to me, as a matter of fact. It's a topic that actually explains to the most detailed way of how I cook. A lot of people affiliate me with health food cooking or plant-based cooking or vegetarian or raw food cooking. I do all of that. House and apple. Emotional cooking is really what gets me going, because I don't know if anybody out there in Facebook noticed this. There's a lot of diets out there. There's a lot of preferences out there. And there's a lot of food shaming out there, blaming the food for the problem. Now, if any of us really think that we're powerful and amazing beings, then how can you blame something inanimate that you put in front of your face to eat? So, Desandra, when you put this topic in front of my face and it was your creative idea that says, what's eating you? I'm like, it must be universe that's talking. It's going to bring me back to my roots, which is I'm actually a naturopath doctor, certified naturopath doctor, but a lot of people don't know that about me. They just know me as a Creole Peach chef. And I am the Creole Peach chef because I love cooking, but I love the emotion of cooking. I really love the emotion of cooking because people drive what their cravings are. Obviously, there's a lot of things in life that are showing up right now that let us know that we tick in certain purposeful ways. That's also applied to food. We are what we crave. Let me go there. So the question is, what's eating you? What's eating you? And stop saying it's the biscuit. You eat the biscuit. What's eating you? Okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. Can you scroll on over? So the question is, what's eating you? And stop saying it's the biscuit. You eat the biscuit. What's eating you? Okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. Can you scroll on over? So the question is,
looks like it's not scrolling, Chef.
What's eating you? And stop saying it's the biscuit.
This technology, I tell you, it's not.
You know what? This technology is teaching us how to keep it rolling too.
Yes, so it is.
We're gonna keep it right on rolling because we are not done with the conversation of what's eating you.
Yes.
It needs to be heard. Let me grab mine. Back up. All right. Something that I really want people to pay attention to when it comes to food is that food was culturally taught to us as comfort food. Comfort food. Our physical bodies are fully nutrition on a regular basis. In this particular country, in this particular time, we have everything we need food-wise. So why is it that you don't just eat a potato every day or an avocado every day or some type of fruit or vegetable or item that has a complete nutritional content every day? Because you actually have preferences. Your body, your emotion is driving what makes you tick. I know there's a lot of us that sits down and they get the fragrance of cinnamon on an October Monday morning and they think to themselves, grandma. Or you see that light on at the Krispy Kreme and you think to yourself, I'm about that life. Are you really hungry for a Krispy Kreme? Are you really hungry for that cinnamon smell that you remember grandma doing? It's comfort food. We gather around food for all of our traditions, all of our celebrations, anything of noteworthiness. We gather with food, with food. All that to say, to clarify the point that food is an emotional food, and it was culturally taught to us to be emotional at this point in time. We haven't really been, a lot of people haven't really been living in situations of destitute where all you have is a sack of rice to eat your entire life. No, that's not our story right now. So the question is, what's eating you? What's eating you? What has your wheels turning? So here we go. Emotionally, we eat 75% for our feelings. We are taught at a young age to use food as cooking. 25% of the time we're eating because we're hungry, believe it or not. So what does that mean for in-between gaps? It's all about the food for us right now. So as I roll along, I want to start off by 2 categories of food. Although I do have more categories than that to follow, I just want to start off by speaking about why food, or what the chart is of food that can help you understand what it is you're craving. Because what I want to start as far as a conversation piece, and nothing that I say is fact, but I want to start the conversation piece on, we are the guardians of what we decide to eat. So we can stop blaming food. And as a chef, don't you blame my food for anything. Every ingredient is important. So let's start off with talking about the 2 main categories of emotional eating. Category 1 is eating from your head, your logic, the things that make you feel like you tick, the things that make you feel like you need to think it through, how you go to work every day, how you live your life, how you deal with your family, the strategizing that keeps you in your head. There's actually a category, what they call head food. Head food cravings are stress related. Now, stress is caused by your head ticking too much, just tick, 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 tock, ticking too much. With the stress eating, stress cravings are stuff that are crunchy, chewy. This is a sign that your head is chewing on something. Or you would like things to go differently. So examples of that, bubblegum, chewy meats, potato chips, very crunchy, ice cubes, fried foods, of course, that's crispy. So basically what's happening is your mouth is going through an exercise that your brain is telling you that it needs to go through, which is, I need to get stuff did. I need to do something. I am not happy with where I am right now, and I need to do a little something. I'm going to just chew on chewy things. So that first category is head cravings. Get out your head. So if you have the feeling that you're always using food as a crutch where you're chewing 24/7, or you're always attracted to crunchy foods, think about why you're attracted to the food. Don't blame the food. Think about why you're attracted to the food. We got to do self-focus in 2021. The second category that we have, heart cravings. You know the head is very separate from the heart. I like to explain the head as knowledge, as logic, as ideas that you come up with and how you strategize with it, which is completely different than how you feel, what you're going through emotionally. 2 different things. So the second category is emotional. So heart cravings are emotional desires and feelings of lack, like depression, loneliness, empty, or even just feeling bored. All of these are categories of emptiness, as well as just a category of emotions altogether. So that's 2 categories. We got the inner and the outer. Let's move along. The next category that we have here is that I want to get a little bit more specific than inner and outer. There's so many more details that we can go through, and I'm not going to put you guys through a whole doctorate program to get all this knowledge. That's why I'm here, is to go ahead and review these things with you. So I'm going to go over 9 more bullet points that actually single out different emotions a little bit better with specifying the actual snack foods. For example, let's go. Sweet treats. I don't know if any of you out there are very attracted to sweet treats. If you always need to eat hard candy, if you are just a cake fanatic, or anytime in the midnight hour, you just wake up and randomly you feel like you need to snack on a Snicker bar. These are sweet treat cravings. So what is that telling you? Is it the Snicker bar's fault? This bar that is it the Snicker bar's fault that you crave it? Is it your chocolate cake's fault that you crave it? Or is there anything wrong with chocolate cake? The question is, why are you emotionally connected that is one of your number one choice of snack, sweetness? That category is a craving for love and affection. This doesn't mean that you need to wake up and find a romantic partner if you don't already have one, or you need to blame your romantic partner if you already do have one. This means that you need to allow affection, love, and intimacy in your life. This means that you need to recognize it everywhere, recognize it in your partner, recognize it in yourself, recognize it when you pick up that piece of sweet treat when you have a craving. Your emotions are trying to talk to you, and they don't have words. So they will use anything, including food, to talk to you. Next category, oily snacks. Oily snacks. What's an oily snack? French fries, anything greasy that's deep fried. And you know, we all have our deep fried cravings. We all have our deep fried cravings. And then we get up and we say, oh, this deep fried craving is the devil. Well, let's just get more information into that. Why do you crave oily snacks? And all of this is a recommendation. This is not something that you actually have to take to heart. This is something as a suggestion to let you know another way of thinking about food to help you purge yourself from the emotional connections, the cravings, and the addictions that you have to food. So oily snacks, a feeling of shame, not feeling capable. Interesting comparison, isn't it? Next category, crunchy. I don't know if any of you guys have a crunchy craving out there. You like to chew on chips, you like to chew on pretzels, you like to chew on anything that gives you a snap. This is a sign of anger or frustration. Next category we have salty snacks. Salty. This is a sign of a desire for adventure in your life. Salt brings the spice of life. I know you've all heard that term. Something to bring another level to whatever you eat. That's salt. A desire for adventure. Next, we have corn-based products. Now, corn-based products doesn't mean actual corn that you can see in your items. You don't just go to the store and think, I want some corn. I'm craving corn. But we all know that food today has a high presence of high fructose corn syrup and a lot of corn products in general. So this particular category of corn-based products is talking about junk food, processed foods altogether. You ever crave processed foods? Ask yourself that. That is a sign of not feeling enough. Not feeling enough. Next category, we got carbohydrates. Carbohydrates. Now, I am a carbohydrate lover. I love my bread. I love my rice. I love my mashed taters. Don't tell me nothing about trying to take my gluten away from me. I love carbohydrates. But what is this a signal of? This is a signal of a desire for connection, a desire for comfort. Do you feel like that resonates with you at all? Your desire to eat all of these starchy carbohydrate products, whether you're vegetarian or not, whether you eat meat, pescatarian, whatever type of dietary that you go on, a desire or a craving for starch is probably, you follow your spirit to figure this out, an indication of a desire for a connection, comfort. Let's keep it moving. Spicy food. Don't get it twisted. Just because I list this category doesn't mean that it's not good for you or it's bad for you. I'm not speaking of these foods for judgment at all. No. I'm speaking of these foods to let you know that you're in control of what you put in your mouth. Ask yourself, why did I put it in my mouth? If you're a spicy food lover, try this idea on. A desire to release a desire to release stress or pain. Here's where this is coming from. A lot of times when we eat spicy food, we know there's a side effect of discomfort and pain. It burns. That doesn't feel sweet and comfy like you just took a bubble bath with rose essence. No, but some people love it. What is your love of spicy food? Possibly, because this is not a cure-all for everyone. Spicy food suggests that you're under stress and you want to do something about it. So therefore, you eat foods that give you a feeling of action, pain in your mouth, and then it goes away. And then you want it again. You're just a spicy food lover. Food for the lot. Next, and we are almost done. We got 2 more categories on this scenario. Chocolate. I don't know if we have any chocolate lovers out there. As a matter of fact, I get emotionally offended when people tell me that they do not consume chocolate. I'm like, what's wrong with you? It's a food group. It's delicious. Like, who could go without chocolate? Apparently people. What does chocolate indicate to you? It's not just sweet. It's not just creamy. It's a craving for deep intimacy. A craving for deep intimacy. This rich, full of natural flavor, sweetness, complexity, character, it's craving for intimacy. Are you one who's a chocoholic? And just because you're a chocoholic and you have a significant other does not mean that you're getting your needs met. And that is not necessarily the fault of your significant other or lack thereof. We have to learn how to receive in order to get. It's not a natural skill. So chocolate, just an idea. It's not set in stone. This is based off of theories, off of multiple studies. Chocolate is a craving for deep intimacy. Chew it on. Food for thought. And the last category is dairy. 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 Now, I'm not saying dairy because I am speaking to a certain dietary preference, like vegan or anything of that sort, or anybody who wants to consume animal products. No judgment here. But what is dairy telling you when you crave dairy? Are you not a vegetarian or vegan because you just love cheese pizza? Do you just love drinking a certain type of milk? Do you love ice cream? What is dairy telling you in an emotional craving? I'll tell you what it is. It's the next level or the mothering style of category of a desire for connection, a desire of love, a desire of comfort that your mother would give you. You are desiring the mother's milk when you're a baby, that comfort that you remember. If you just cannot get enough of that cheesecake, can't get enough of that ice cream, especially in your times of need, Now, you tell me how this resonates with you, if this feels like in the year 2021, if this food has a little bit more meaning than us just blaming food for our weight situation. Food is an inanimate object. It has its own situation. We're adults, we're human beings, and we're in the process of actually eating and receiving. So let's go ahead and get on to the recipe. I say this because I speak and I cook for dietary preferences. My belief is that you should eat food that emotionally and spiritually feeds you, just like you should surround yourself with people who spiritually and emotionally feed you. My recipes are not targeted towards dietary preferences. It's actually targeted towards emotional preferences. That's how I got the name of my company, Intimate Chef of Atlanta, where I do many of private dining occasions for people, and they know that's why they call me the Intimate Chef, because food is also an aphrodisiac. In my study of being a naturopath doctor and a chef, celebrity chef, all these different things, food has more to offer you than flavor. Food has more to offer you than a nutritional content. Food is a creative being, just like people are creative beings. And we have ways to influence ourselves and our outcome of what we want in life based on the food choices. So the question is, what's eating you? What is your preferred dietary thing? What is your snack food? You're a chip person? You're a Cheez-It person? What is your preference? You like pizza? But don't say what you like and blame it like that pizza is the devil. You put that food up in your mouth. That pizza didn't do that to you. Now, let's make a recipe. One of the things that are in the PowerPoint, and you guys can feel free to request a PowerPoint if you like it. There is a recipe that we're going to go over that comes from my actual ebook called Real Food, Real Taste. And the reason that the name of it is Real Food, Real Taste is because I am speaking of what food really is. If we treated it like consciousness, if we treated it like an actual thing that the creator has created, the food has something that it's trying to say. Let's slow down on covering it up. And as veterans, anyone who's been affiliated with any trauma, anything that's been stressful, you yourself should say, what's eating you? So let's get started. I'm going to start off by making three different things. A tangerine, and hold on, let me make sure I say it right because I cook so much food every day, you'll be surprised. But this is from my ebook. This is a tangerine snow pea salad. After we make the tangerine snow pea salad, we're also going to make a grapefruit sage vinaigrette. And we're going to add a little bit something hearty to it to make people feel at peace with themselves as far as what they ate. And we're going to add an actual seared piece of salmon. Now, I want you to keep in mind as I make all these ingredients, the goal is to also use the rainbow. So I'm going to start off by making this tangerine snow pea salad. Y'all ready? Let's go. Bon appetit. So where you are, as far as the studio is concerned, is I am in, obviously, Zoom. I knew that was going to happen today. I am obviously in Zoom, and I am here checking in with you guys about to make an actual salad. Now that I dropped my camera, I need to be careful with what I'm doing. There we go. Back on track. All right. Not back on track. Oh, it's terrible. That's my phone I'm looking at. It's totally shattered right now, but you know what? You guys are all worth it. My goodness, and I'm breaking it again. Oh, I'm gonna get this fixed this time this week. All right. Open. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Open. Hey Siri. Hello.
It's not acting right, huh?
You know what's going on right now is that the screen, because I dropped the phone one too many times, it's not touch activated anymore. And all I could do was put my ear pods in to see if it will connect so I can hear. So it fell down right as I was about to do the snow pea, and it's no longer working.
OMG. So that just means we just have to have a conversation, I guess. I can
Well,
put
let's have a conversation.
I'll put the images up, after the fact.
Okay. I am so yes. The what's eating you topic I thought was a definitely fabulous one, because I'm personally a firm believer that what's in your head is what's first reality. And then it comes out into what we eat, what we choose to eat, different things of that sort. And we spend so much time thinking about the latest diet plan or what is actual health for us. I've known a lot of people who've gone 100% vegan, and I definitely applaud them for it, that have not been at a certain health place that they wanted to. Just the same as I know a lot of people who are choosing to do other type of diet plans, like say the Atkins or the paleo or different things of that sort. However, why should we ask ourselves, why are we choosing to do so many different dietary plans?
Absolutely.
It's what's eating you. What is eating you? What is it in you that makes you feel that all you love eating is bready sweets, cupcakes, chocolate cake, German chocolate cake, lemon pound cake, muffins? Something needs to be said that is your choice to open your mouth and chew. What's eating you?
Chef Amira, it is so cool that you are even saying these things, because what really comes to mind when I think about this, I start just really considering mindfulness while eating, because that's really what it all boils down to. Is just you're bringing your awareness to what are you craving? Why do you want it? Do you want to put it down and choose something else as an option that's going to be similar as far as what you are getting from it, the benefits? So say, for instance, if you're, having this sweet thing and you are wanting ice cream, well, can you make the choice of almond milk or coconut milk ice cream if dairy is not the best for your body? Can you be mindful enough to make that decision and choose an option that's better suited for your body and your well-being? So that's kind of what I'm hearing as I hear your presentation. And many of us just do not have the capability, because we're so rush all the time, just doing stuff, to even be still and ask ourselves, why am I desiring this right now? So that mindfulness is definitely a key component to making the choices that are best suited for you.
Absolutely. On top of, some people find it very difficult to accept themselves. I want to say it like that. Mm-hmm. Some people are plus size, some people are super skinny, some people, we have so many different shapes and sizes. And in those same shapes and sizes, you see everybody going to the gym or not going to the gym, and they are the size that they are, or they lose weight or they gain weight, however it goes. But our bodies are only aftermath symbolic of what we're emotionally going through. We choose what we look like.
Yes.
So if you're in a certain emotional state that has you to where you cannot stop putting down the processed foods, stop blaming the processed foods. Let's take this as an opportunity to think about what our body is trying to tell us, as opposed to us trying to tell our body. Our body is trying to tell us through our cravings that there's a consistent trend here. And the step one that I would say in that is to accept ourselves. Mm-hmm. Instead of blaming the food and say, oh, I can't stand this cheese. And this is not an excuse for somebody who's looking for one to be like, oh, I'm going on the cheese diet. Oh, absolutely not. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is being the captain of your ship and knowing what you need health-wise. And every time you slip up, don't just judge yourself and sit in the corner and eat an entire pint of ice cream. If you're in a moment where you're eating an entire pint of ice cream, you're going through psychological challenges. What is the problem, and how can somebody support you, including yourself? Because it starts with self-love. It starts with self-love. But the only way we can change anything is to make a decision to change. But many people would be like, well, how do I do that? I don't know how to change, especially veterans that have gone through some traumatic stuff that we all know was very traumatic, especially if they've had to go to war. You see things that is not happening now, but it were very impactful when you were going through it, that impacts the rest of your life. How do we take control of our life? How do we take control of our weight? How do we take control of our high blood pressure? How do we take control of whatever the body decides to give us? It's by acknowledging that we're emotionally distraught in that area. I love eating ice cream because I need the comfort of my mother. I need the comfort of that I'm okay and that I'm safe and I'm peaceful. And the last time I remember that happening was when I was breastfeeding or drinking a bottle. Yes. Mm-hmm. Our emotional self doesn't speak English. It doesn't speak Spanish or French, but it speaks very loud and clearly.
Yes, it does.
So instead of us blaming our body or blaming our choices or blaming or using that word at all, don't even blame. Just slow down, because you asked for an answer. So what are you eating? That's just one way you're starting off. What is your favorite snack food?
Yeah, that's good stuff. Well, I love me some fruit. I tell you the truth. I love me some watermelon. I love me some grapes. I love red things, that's for sure. I love things that are red. But then again, when it comes down to snacks at night, I love some avocado or some guacamole with some those thin itty bitty crackers, you know, they're I forgot what they call them, but anyway, you know them because you have them in your beautiful display of snacks sometimes. But I love those crackers. What do they call, Chef?
Are you talking about crackers for dipping into hummus or whatnot?
Yeah.
They got a different variety of crackers. You know, they got the water crackers, they got black pepper, they got wavy, they got the Ritz, you know, just crack. Oh, so it's water crackers?
Yeah, it's the water crackers. And I know, I mean, you can get them definitely with garlic and some other things, but water crackers, the thin little itty bitty ones, dip that in some guacamole and oh my God, and your guacamole, Chef.
That is hilarious. I appreciate the support. Let me stop tripping.
Yes. And then, of course, when I'm doing the sweet snacks, you know, my favorite choice is a young sister that creates these vegan treats. Oh my God, the one with the red velvet and the creamy something icing. That's what I love. I only do that maybe 3-4 times a year. But that's red too. See, it's that color.
Yeah, you know what? That's right. Because everything ultimately ends up connecting, which is why it's so helpful for us to pick one or two things that we want to focus on and master it. So that we can understand life a little bit better, because there's no way we're going to understand the infiniteness of all the things that we could master. But if you master one or two things, you've gotten closer to understanding life. So in that aspect, yeah, the colors also definitely could correspond with the chakras. All of it corresponds. It corresponds with even how much sun that the particular plant got when it was getting developed, when it produced the fruit. And what organ in your body that also pertains to. We're not as complicated as we complicate our thoughts in our heads.
Yes. All right, Chef. Well, I am just so grateful that you took time out to join us here on Optimal Living Starts Here. And just for the sake of our viewers and our listeners who joined us after we began, I would just like to officially introduce our guest again. This is Chef Amira Watson, and she's been in the culinary industry since 2003. She has a culinary degree from Le Cordon Bleu and has worked in fine dining establishments like Ritz-Carlton, Cherokee Country Club, and more. She's appeared on 2 Food Network cook shows and was the culinary director for MasterChef Junior. Chef Amira became a certified naturopath doctor studying under Dr. Laila Africa. Now she uses food to heal emotions and work with children as a culinary arts teacher and is the founder of Cooking with STEM. Our special guest has shared so many wonderful insights with us as it relates to our emotions and why we eat the foods that we eat and the cravings and where they come from. And we hope that you will share this information with other veterans and their families that may want to know more or just understand what's eating them. It is not rocket science, y'all, and Chef Amira has broken it down to us and made it very clear. And I just want to thank you so much for joining us in this episode of Optimal Living Starts Here.
It's been an absolute pleasure. And Optimal Living, I have to say, I'm so appreciative of what you are offering to all of our veterans and different type of programs and services to the community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chef. Peace and love to you.
Peace and love.